If a few people, do really well, why is that such a big deal? Isn't that just proof of the American dream? You work hard and you're successful.
We as a society have very complex views about economic inequality. Americans are not of the view that all inequalities of wealth or income are unjust. And in fact, they think if you work harder, if you seize opportunities, then you should be able to get ahead.
Jacob Hacker is a political scientist at Yale and the co-author of Winner-Take-All Politics, which argues that this extraordinary accumulation of wealth at the top isn't just about hard work. It's about wealthy interests using the political system to rig the rules in their favor.
There's been a reinforcing cycle. Those at the top have done well. They've invested in policies that are favorable to them, and they've done even better, and then they've churned a lot of that money back into politics.
To understand how big money rigs the rules in Washington, we sought out the poster child for political corruption, former lobbyist Jack Abramoff. Having pled guilty to charges including conspiracy to bribe public officials, Abramoff spent nearly 4 years in federal prison. Now released, he is touring the country trying to promote reform.
I wish I could tell you that in the midst of all of my lobbying activity, I came to an epiphany, but I didn't. It, unfortunately for me, required my demise.
Jack Abramoff has pled guilty to federal corruption charges.
But eventually I decided to look honestly at the past activities I had engaged in. I also systemically looked at the overall picture and realized the system itself was really badly in disrepair. The lobbyists will bring in the exact draft of what they want because they want to make sure it is exactly what they need. And, the staff are busy, the congressmen are busy, and so they frequently in the past and still avail themselves of the services, let's call them, of the lobbyists to write these bills.
Now, as a lobbyist, what was your leverage in terms of getting members to sponsor the bills that you had written?
A lobbyist needs to get to the decision maker, the congressman and the staff, and that involves, unfortunately, financial conveyances.
One of the dirty little secrets in Washington today is how much time members of the House and Senate spend every week, not just in the election season, but all the time, year-round, on the telephone, asking people for money. It's begging for money. It's a sad spectacle.
When you have campaigns that are costing tens of millions of dollars, the people who have the money want something back. Money is being used to buy results. That is the problem. That's how I used money. I know what I was doing.
Washington is almost owned and operated by the U.S. corporate sector at this point. There are so many billions of dollars of spending on lobbying. There are so many lobbyists that are in the room writing the regs, writing the laws right now. There is so much financing of political campaigns. There are so many bought politicians.
Our civics books tell us that the president is the most powerful person in the world and that special interests must go to Washington to petition the government. But when it comes time to raise money, our presidents go hat in hand to the people who really have the power.